Hey everyone, it's Lexi. So I'm very excited for this video. It's a video that was inspired by one that Leonie did on the book Leo, so I'll link her original video up in the cards if you want to go and check that out. But basically the premise of this video is, I was going to say the premise of the story, the premise of this video is that you look at the technically worst rated books that you've read based on the average Goodreads review, and then you compare your rating to the Goodreads general audience. So I think that's just an interesting concept, and I feel like especially in some cases I do tend to have kind of polarizing or different opinions on popular books, so I'm very curious to see what this has in store. So the way this video will be structured is I'll kind of go through and kind of talk about the top 10 books that are technically the worst books that I've read according to Goodreads, and then see how my review compares to the majority. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. As always, I think this is a very interesting video. Leonie is one of my favorite booktubers, so I saw this and I was like, this is a great idea for a video, so I kept it in mind. Alrighty, so first up for this one we have We Met in December by Rosie Curtis. This is a book that I read with my friend and her friend group when we had a little book club during COVID, like during lockdowns, and so we each read kind of like a book, you know, every month or so, and this was one of them that we read. We did read what is it called, One Day in December, which was really good. I really liked that one. Like, that one was actually like pretty good, and I was thinking like maybe I'll read it again this Christmas. But this is one that's kind of a similar vibe. It talks about two people. From what I remember is that they are like roommates, and they happened to meet in December, and they obviously start a romantic, you know, endeavor, and the ups and downs of their relationship. But I just thought this one was so bad. I found like the main protagonist to be super annoying, and just like the lack of communication between these two characters was horrendous. And I can see like I'm like believing that it is actually the lowest rated book that I've ever read, because I did not enjoy it. Compared to like One Day in December, I really enjoyed that. I thought it was really well written. Like, it was just, I was really invested in these characters, and then in this case it was like, I really don't think, like, they're both horrible and they deserve each other, but other than that, like, I didn't buy into the chemistry and just the woe is me mentality of these characters. So this is one that I 100% agree with. Next up we have The Circle by Dave Eggers. I read this, like it says, in December of 2016, so the kind of end of my first semester of my master's, and I remember I was really excited for this. I thought I saw the trailer for the movie Emma Watson was in, and I was like, oh, I need to read the book in order to watch this movie, and I did not like the book. It's about this girl who gets recruited to this tech company, and it is essentially kind of like it has themes about kind of the kind of supervision and how much we give, like the surveillance of technology, and how much we kind of overshare our lives through technology. It was very much kind of anti technology, like anti-social media, and this is a case where I liked the movie more than the book. I found the book, again, the characters were really unlikable, and I felt like the book had very good themes, but the execution of it was not very good. I felt like it was very chaotic in terms of where everyone, like, the just progression of the narrative. The characters were just very like all over the place as well, so I kind of agree with this one. This is a book that I read a long time ago, oh my goodness. It is The American Heiress by Daisy Goodwin, which I gave 3 stars, and the average is 3.46, so I was pretty kind of on par with it. I remember it being a historical fiction about this kind of American woman who comes from a very rich family in the 1800s, and she ends up marrying this I don't know, like he's within kind of the higher ups in the UK, not necessarily royalty, but kind of within that group, I guess you could say. And it's just her story. I don't really remember too much because this one was a long time ago, but it was just okay. Like, it obviously wasn't one that stuck with me. I don't even have this book anymore. But it was just okay. Like, it kind of has like the Downton Abbey vibes of kind of that time period, kind of the late 1800s. It kind of has that like vibe to it, but yeah, it was just okay. Like I said, like I really don't, it's not one that has stuck with me to this day. Moving on, we have True, which is the third book in the Elixer trilogy by Hilary Duff, which I read back all the way in 2013. So literally, I just finished my first year of university. Oh my gosh, I was just a baby back then. Oh my goodness. This one I gave 3 stars and the average rating was 3.48. So again, this is one where I'm kind of in line with it. I really don't remember too much about this trilogy. I know there was like some magical aspects within it. It was like a romance from what I remember. Like I still have all these books just because I'm a big Hilary Duff fan, and I was like, oh my goodness, she's writing a book, but clearly she had a helper with it. But yeah, this was one that like I said, it was just fine from what I remember. Like the ending I don't remember too much. Like I said, this one was so long ago that like I don't remember it that well, but you know, it seems to be very much on par with that. Next up, we have By a Curse and a Charm by Jaime Questell, and this is kind of, from what I remember, this book was sent to me for review, and it was fine. Again, I gave it 3 stars, and it has a pretty average rating, which is a 3.49. From what I remember, this is about a girl who goes to a carnival and all these things happen. It's basically like a knockoff version of the night circus, but not as good. Obviously, I think it was trying to kind of bank on the kind of, at this time there was a lot of like carnival themed books coming out, like Caraval and this one, and trying to kind of bank on the popularity of the night circus. And again, this is one that is like a teenage woe is me adventure that I really didn't care about. Like it was like fine, but it wasn't like the best book I've ever read. It was like an adventure, but it wasn't one that was memorable. Like for me, the night circus was so it was such an immersive read, and this book was not able to kind of replicate that atmosphere. It was just like I wasn't able to lose myself in the characters, the atmosphere, the kind of internal struggle of the book or the characters. Like I just really did not care about this one. So this one is interesting. It is The Shape of Night by Tess Gerritsen, and I'm a big Tess Gerritsen fan. The Rosolian Isles series really kickstarted my love for kind of crime series when I was in high school, so she is very much near and dear to my heart. And this is one that she took a break from the Rosolian Isles series, and she released, I think, 2 different kind of, one was like kind of a paranormal murder, which was kind of like this one. So it follows this girl who is down on her luck, and she like wants to run away from her problems. So she decides that the way to do that is basically to, you know, rent a ginormous house on the coast of Maine. But there is this ghost that she ends up seeing and has like a romantic relationship with it. It was very weird, I will say. Like I did enjoy parts of it. Like I did kind of enjoy the mystery aspect and how like this paranormal part integrated itself into that. So like I said, I gave it 3 stars and the average is 3.5, which is pretty low if you compare it to some of her Rosolian Isles series books. So it, like I said, it was weird, but I kind of liked it. This one is a little bit upsetting, but it is The Bench by Meghan Markle, which was a kind of children's book that she wrote about her, like her Harry and Archie at that point in time, and just like, you know, I thought it was like a lot of this, like the hate, it's like you can tell the low rating is because people just don't like Meghan Markle. Everywhere she goes, she gets a lot of hate. Like even when the Queen just died, people were still slamming on her, and I think it's terrible, like all the hate that she gets for literally doing nothing to deserve that, which is a story for another time. But yeah, this is one that I definitely disagree with the low rating. For the most part, I've kind of agreed with these low ratings. I gave this one 4 stars. Like I thought it was a decent children's book, and I'm like, oh, this is one that I can read to my kids one day, because it was very inclusive. I thought it was really nice. I love the illustrations. but you can tell that it has a low rating just because wherever Meghan Markle goes, the haters follow, so that one is a little bit sad. Next up we do have Elixer, which is not the first book in the Elixer trilogy, which again, it was just okay. I think if you're a Hilary Duff fan, it's not mind-blowing, but if you're a Hilary Duff fan, it was fine, so I'm kind of just skip past that. Next up we have Someday Someday Maybe by Lauren Graham. This is one that I did read a long time ago too, but it's kind of loosely based on her experience of, you know, giving acting a shot. So the main character of this one essentially like she's given herself 1 year to be like, okay, if I don't finally make it into acting, then I will give up. And so it follows her kind of adventure into trying to become an actor while also kind of balancing a work balance where she's like, I need to pay the rent, but I also need to focus on this other career that hasn't taken off yet. Again, it was okay. I gave it 1 star. It wasn't, you know, too exciting or anything like that. It was fine. I enjoy her memoirs more than this one, is what I will say. This comes as no surprise, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, which, not surprising, it also has a very low rating as well. I was super excited for this, and I think I was like just disappointed because it does take away from things that have been established in the books. Like, I don't see this as canon, and I think a lot of people agree with that. Like, it's just not canon with this, which is a little bit sad. Like, I think I still would see the play whenever it comes to where I live. Like, I think I definitely would go see it just to see like the magic on stage, but for me, like, the story kind of is just fanfic, and I think, yeah, along with the general public, I kind of agree with this one. And so last up we have The Abundance of Katherines by John Green. This is when I was in like my John Green phase where like The Fault in Our Stars came out and I just wanted to read all his other books, and the only book I like, you know, relatively enjoyed was The Fault in Our Stars. Like, for me in general, I just didn't like a lot of his books, even when I was more of the age demographic that this one has. This one, I don't even remember the premise. I just know there was like some math thrown in, which, you know, at the time was just so mind-blowing that math was used in a novel. Like, holy moly. You can see here it has like a really, you know, not stellar rating as well, of a 3.5. So yeah, you can tell, like, I didn't even enjoy it. Do I even have like a review of this one? Like, some of these I probably have a review. I don't know if I was writing reviews for this one, but I think it would be funny to see. But yeah, John Green, like, some people, like even my friend is like, he's my favorite author. I've loved all of his books. Like, he was just so amazing. And for me, I was just like, I don't know. Yeah, I didn't even give it a review. It wasn't worth my time, basically, for a review. But yeah, John Green, I think, is only like, in like The Fault in Our Stars is good, but it's not like mind-blowing. Like, it does have a lot of his novels have that like manic pixie dream girl vibe to them, which isn't my favorite. So yeah, like I said, most of John Green's books are like 1 or 2 star reviews besides The Fault in Our Stars. I'm trying to see. Yeah, but yeah, this is interesting. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I think it is very interesting to see like the lowest rated books as like overall and compare your reviews to them. I feel like in most cases I was pretty spot on with the like meh reviews or like the bad reviews. I feel like, you know, I was actually pretty consistent. The only one that I was like pretty shocked about was the Meghan Markle one, which is its own other entity compared to some of this. It was more like racially charged negative reviews, I think, with this one, so, which is just really sad. But yeah, for the most part, like, I was actually like, I pretty much agreed with these like the general consensus on Goodreads. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you want to see more of these in the future where I look at like my highest rated as well. But yeah, go check out Leonie's channel. Like I said, she's my favorite booktuber right now, and yeah, she just has really great videos that are really unique and very, you know, I don't know, I feel like they're very creative and I lack a lot of creativity, so I enjoy her videos because I'm like, oh, if only I could think of those things or have that like artistic flair. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what some of your lowest rated, like average Goodreads rated books are. I think it's very interesting to see, and if you agree with them or not. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.